Hey y'all, Bobby Lovell again here today. Time for another Sunday Fun Day story. Hope everybody's had a wonderful week. Real quick, exciting news. I have my first two sponsors for my weekly Sunday Fun Day video. They are Tattooed and Chosen and 6L Defensive Firearms Training. Stay tuned to the end of this video and I'll tell you a little bit more about them and give you a website where you can check those guys out. But not only are they sponsoring this particular weekly video that I put out for you guys, more importantly, they're also pledged their support to the Timothy Project. So if you haven't seen any of my posts that I've had about Timothy Project, look it up on Facebook, the Timothy Project. Something that I'm excited about, something that lots of good news is going to be coming out of there pretty quick, and hopefully we get the ground rolling with that soon. So look for that if you hadn't seen the announcements already. You know, for this story that I've been thinking about this week, you know, my entire life, when I was born, Daddy was always already the tax assessor collector and was already there in the courthouse in Baird. And they had moved from the Cross Plains area up to Baird. And Eric and Al both graduated from Baird High School. And I went all the way through all of my schooling years there at Baird. And Daddy was a tax assessor collector. So I spent many of hours in that old courthouse off and on throughout the years. And one thing I remember was Daddy and Emil Ringhofer. We all called him Junior because he was a junior. His daddy and mom lived down out south of Pioneer, out there southeast of Cross Plains. And Daddy and Junior would go twice a day, every day, either to the URU Steakhouse and have coffee, or Daddy would just go down to Junior's bulk fueling station that he had there on the railroad tracks there west of the depot there in Baird, and have coffee every day, twice a day. You know, and if I was with Daddy, he happened to be up at the courthouse, I would get out and go with him. And one particular time, Emil was down in his back, and it was spring break for us there at Baird, and Emil had asked me to drive his Texaco truck, his little short tanker truck that he had, delivering fuel for that week because he couldn't, because he was down in his back. You know, Emil drove that little Texaco truck. If you remember, if you grew up in my area, you didn't want to get in front of Emil because he ran that thing all the way to the floor, just flying everywhere he went, and worked himself all the time. He was very dedicated to the work that he did and getting that fuel out to the farmers and ranchers and our local service stations, because he had Chief's Texaco station there in Baird he delivered to. He had the Texaco station out on the interstate. He had Shalimar and the one there, which is now Thrifty's one stop in Clyde, and he had others in Abilene, and one out on Highway, well, more than one. There were several out on Highway 36. And then, of course, he delivered bulk diesel and bulk gasoline out to our farmers and ranchers. And so this particular week that he was down, and he asked me to deliver fuel for him. And so we got started off, and he rode with me a couple of times, and that old bobtail tanker of his, and made sure I knew exactly what I was doing. And then he kind of sent me off on my own. And one particular delivery, and I don't remember now whose ranch it was, but I went out there south of Baird, and he had told me, he said, now this diesel tank that they've got, it's not quite empty. He said, you'll be able to top it off and then put the rest over in the reserve tank. He said, you'll know when it's about to get full, it'll start foaming up. He said, you'll need to be up there on top of the tank getting ready to watch it so you can shut it off and move it over to the reserve tank. And so, you know, it's getting full. I don't remember, I carried them 250, 500 gallons. I don't remember what it was, but, you know, carried them a lot of diesel out because it was time for me plowing the fields in the spring. And I'm up there watching, you know, knowing this thing's about to get full, and it didn't foam up at all. It just sprayed all over me, and I think I was wearing probably my FFA jacket, and it's still here in the closet. I've still got it, and it probably still smells like diesel because I got covered up in that diesel and stunk for the rest of the week. But, you know, it wouldn't take for the memories that I have with Emil Ringhofer and Jane. And I've already told you one of my first stories was Beth and I. She and I grew up like brother and sister because Junior and Jane were my second mom and dad, and you know, thought the world of them. And so, you know, if you can remember that old truck that Junior drove, he drove it with a foot to the floor everywhere he went. But he worked hard and did a good job, and I know all the farmers and ranchers were appreciative that they could get their fuel delivered like the way Emil did. But hey, you guys remember, y'all be sweet, I'll be pretty. And like I told you, I wanted to tell you about my sponsors. Tattooed and Chosen. They're a clothing line, but more than a clothing line. They have t-shirts and hats, and they've even got the mask now that says Chosen on it. But they're also into ministry, and they go to various places and minister to, like tattoo festivals and things like that, to these people that oftentimes kind of get shunned by a lot of the religious community. And so it's more than just a clothing brand and clothing line. They do ministry too, and like I say, they've pledged their support to the Timothy Project. So their website will be at the end of this here in a minute. The second one is 6L Defensive Firearms Training. 6L Defensive Firearms Training is USCCA, that's United States Concealed Carry Association certified. That is my nephew. Both of them are actually my nephews that have these particular businesses that have sponsored my show. But my nephew Brian with the 6L Defensive Firearm Training is USCCA certified, actually going back up there to their headquarters to be certified to train other instructors in defensive firearms training. So if you are a concealed carry, or if you have your carry license for the state of Texas, I tell you, this is a training that you should attend. Well worth it. I got the opportunity to take it last weekend myself and thoroughly enjoyed the class. Got a lot out of it. So go check out both of these guys, tattooedandchosen.com and 6LDefensiveFirearmstraining.com. I'll have it here at the bottom of the screen. Hey guys, I love you. Y'all have a wonderful day, and God bless.